Right. Ready to dive into something a little different today. We're going to explore astral projection.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, have you ever thought like maybe, just maybe, your consciousness could kind of like travel outside of your physical body?
Definitely a question people have been asking for, well, a long time. And the source you gave me, this audio file, it's called Experiments Proving Astral Projection is Real. It really jumps right into it.
Yeah, no kidding. Experiments proving. Pretty bold claim right there in the title.
Uh,
So what are we even talking about here? What is astral projection?
well, they describe it as a conscious out-of-body experience
Okay.
where your consciousness separates, like they call it your astral body,
Mm-hmm.
and it can travel to different like realms, dimensions.
Because we're not talking about dreams or hallucinations, right? This source is saying this is like an actual experience people can have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they really go into that and even describe different techniques people can use to make it happen.
Techniques, like how?
Well, some of them sound kind of wild, like there's this one called the rope technique
Rope technique.
where you basically visualize pulling yourself out of your body using an imaginary rope.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, a lot of the techniques seem to be about visualization and getting into a super relaxed state.
Yeah, I was noticing that too, like that Monroe technique
Right.
where you're supposed to reach that hypnagogic state.
Yeah, that twilight zone, right.
Exactly, between awake and asleep and focus on like vibrations and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't sound easy.
No, not at
They
all.
definitely make it clear it takes practice, mental discipline.
Not something you just like accidentally do.
Yeah, no, the source emphasizes dedication
Mm.
and being willing to really explore your own consciousness.
Yeah.
But they also they claim anyone can do it if they have the right approach and are consistent.
Okay, but this idea of separating your consciousness from your body brings up some pretty big questions, right?
Well, yeah.
Like what happens after we die? Is this source, are they saying that astral projection is proof of life after death?
You're right on with that because they do imply that if consciousness can exist apart from the physical body,
Mm-hmm.
then it could change how we think about what happens when we die.
Whoa, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Like philosophers and theologians have been debating this for centuries, right?
Right.
But this source is like presenting it as an actual experience.
And that's where it gets interesting because
Yeah.
they talk about studies, scientific studies,
Okay.
that they say show physiological changes during astral projection, like unusual brainwave patterns.
Oh, like that study with Ms. Z, right? Where
Yeah.
she could identify a number in a different room,
Exactly.
what she was supposedly projecting.
Yeah, they use that as evidence
Mm-hmm.
to support their claims. And they also talk about some current research projects like this projective field.
Projective field. What is
They're
this?
they're studying shared out-of-body experiences like groups.
Really? Wow, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah, there are some other studies that they mentioned.
Oh, like what?
There's one about a man, he said he could describe exactly what his cat was doing in a totally different place
Hmm.
while he was projecting. And then another one with a guy named Robert Monroe.
Go ahead.
He actually developed some of the techniques we talked about,
Right.
and he claimed he could describe people and things happening outside of the room.
Okay, so a mix of personal stories
Right.
and some attempts at science.
Yeah.
But realistically, most scientists don't take this stuff seriously, right?
It's true, yeah. The source admits more research is needed,
Mm-hmm.
but they also present personal experiences, as a kind of validation.
Okay, so like what kinds of experiences?
Well, they talk about things like people seeing deceased loved ones.
Oh, wow.
Or getting information about faraway places that they couldn't have known, even sensing other people's astral projections. And they seem to be saying that these experiences, even if you can't measure them scientifically,
Yeah.
they still mean something to the people who have them.
It's definitely, it makes you think. I guess it comes down to what you believe
Yeah.
based on what you hear in your own worldview.
Yeah, I agree. And it's important to remember, even if these experiences are real,
Mm-hmm.
there might be some risks involved.
No.
They talk about running into negative entities in the astral realm
Mm.
and the importance of finding protection from higher spiritual beings.
So it's not all fun and games out there.
Sounds like it could get intense.
Yeah, so before anyone tries this astral projection thing,
Right.
what kind of dangers should they be aware of? Yeah, like what are the rules out there? Is it safe?
Well, they do say that astral projection itself doesn't hurt your physical body.
Okay.
They actually compare it to dreaming.
Mm.
Your mind's active, but your body's safe.
Right, but what about like the mental or emotional impact?
Oh, right.
What if someone gets scared out there or sees something disturbing? Could that mess with them?
Hmm. That's a good point. They do talk about these negative entities,
Right.
especially in what they call lower astral planes.
Lower astral plane.
Yeah, like there's a hierarchy, and the lower ones are where the not so nice entities might hang out.
Oh, so it's not enough to just learn the technique.
Right.
You need to be like spiritually prepared
Yeah,
too.
that's what it sounds like. Yeah, like you need a map and a good bodyguard before you go exploring.
Okay, so we've got the techniques, the risks, the need for protection. But let's be real, what people really want to know is, what are the benefits?
Right.
What can you gain from astral projection? What does the source say?
Well, one of the biggest claims is that it can boost your psychic abilities.
Really?
Like they say everyone has this psychic potential from childhood,
Mm.
but it's dormant, and that leaving your body can help wake it up.
So things like intuition or telepathy or
Mhm.
seeing the future, can astral projection make you better at those?
Yeah, they specifically mention those, and also like understanding your subconscious better, which
Right.
can help you grow, personally.
Yeah, I could see how that would be appealing.
Yeah,
It's like a tool for self-discovery.
exactly. And it goes beyond just personal growth.
Okay.
They also say it can bring you inner peace, better sleep, make you appreciate all life more, even
Wow.
improve your memory, intelligence, imagination.
Hold on. They're saying I could astral project my way to a higher IQ.
Well, they don't promise miracles, but they say it can stimulate your brain
Interesting.
by accessing the astral realm.
So they're basically saying that by leaving our bodies,
Hmm.
we can unlock all this hidden potential.
Yeah, that's the core idea. And they even talk about exploring past lives.
Past lives, wow.
Yeah, and overcoming the fear of death. Like it gives you a bigger perspective on life itself.
Okay, so they make a pretty good case for the benefits, but what about this astral realm?
Right.
What is it like? Is it just empty space or is there something there?
They describe it as like a place of energy and light,
Mm,
beyond our normal perception.
okay.
Not just emptiness, but full of possibilities.
But they mention different planes within the astral realm.
Right.
What's the difference between those?
Yeah, it gets a little vague there.
Did
They
it?
talk about higher and lower planes.
Mm-hmm.
The lower ones are more chaotic, maybe dangerous, while
Okay.
the higher ones are more peaceful, spiritually advanced.
So like a spiritual hierarchy.
Yeah, something like that.
But they don't really explain how it works
Oh, no, not really.
or how you get to a specific plane.
Right, and that brings up another question. How do you even travel in the astral realm?
Yeah, is it like physical travel or more like, mental?
They seem to say it's both.
Both.
They say you can travel to different places,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a realm of thought, so your intentions matter.
So it's not like booking a flight.
Right, exactly.
It's more about focusing your mind where you want to go.
Yeah, and they mention meeting other beings there, human and non-human.
Non-human. Like what?
They don't get specific,
Okay.
just that there are different entities and energies, some good, some not so good.
Wow, that's wild. Like a whole other world we can't normally see.
Yeah, pretty mind-blowing.
Makes you wonder, if it's real, what does it mean for how we understand the universe?
Big questions, maybe we can't answer them yet.
Yeah, but definitely something to think about.
Oh, and they also talk about this silver cord thing.
Oh yeah, the silver cord. What is that? They mentioned it but didn't really explain. Sounds kind of spooky. Like, what is it? What does it do?
Well, it's this idea that's been around in, different spiritual traditions for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's this energy connection that links your astral body to your physical body
Okay.
when you're having an out-of-body experience.
So it keeps you connected.
Yeah, like a lifeline, so you can always find your way back.
Like an umbilical cord, but made of energy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The source doesn't go into too much detail, but they mention it when they're talking about people being afraid of getting lost
Right.
or trapped in the astral realm. And they say, don't worry, the silver cord can't be broken.
Yeah.
Your astral body will always come back to your physical body.
Well, that is reassuring considering all the other stuff we talked about.
Yeah,
But it also makes you think, what does this say about consciousness?
absolutely.
Like the connection between our physical and non-physical selves.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept.
It is.
Makes you wonder if there's like a real energy link that we just haven't figured out how to measure yet.
Right, exactly. And it all comes back to that big question. Is there more to reality than what we can see and touch?
Yeah, the source is definitely arguing that there is like a whole other reality beyond our physical limits.
Mm-hmm.
And the astral projection is how we can access it.
And not just access it, but like learn from it,
Right, exactly.
grow from it.
They talk about it as a way to develop personally, spiritually,
Hmm.
gain insights, explore past lives, even get over your fear of death.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to take in. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet some people listening are like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Right.
So what would you say to someone who's curious about all this,
Hmm.
but maybe also a little scared?
I would say approach it with an open mind,
Okay.
but also be a little skeptical.
Yeah.
Do some research, look at different perspectives, and most importantly, trust your gut.
Yeah.
If it feels right, go for it. But if it doesn't, don't force it.
Good advice, really, for anything new you try in life.
Exactly. And, even if you never actually experience astral projection yourself,
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about these ideas can be helpful.
How so?
It makes you expand your awareness, question what you think is real.
I like that, keeping that curiosity alive.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into astral projection,
Mhm.
what's the main thing you want people to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the human mind is amazing,
Hmm.
and whether astral projection is literally real or not,
Right.
it shows us that we have so much potential within us.
Hmm.
It encourages us to explore our own consciousness, to consider that there might be more out there than we realize.
I love that. That's a great way to end this. So to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep an open mind to all the mysteries out there inside and outside of ourselves. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride.